All right, another patron request here for Ricardo Aquino. Aquino? I think that's right. And this one is Sleep Tight. This is a film I love. I've seen before, and when he asked for it, I was like, fuck yeah, absolutely. Now, I thought I owned this, but I can't find it. I keep track of my movies on my phone in this app called iCollect, which I paid $10 for to store all my films in. It's a very handy tool to know what films I have when I go to buy something. If I'm at a store or something, I love having that on hand to be like, do I own this? I can't remember. Dude, I own over 2,000 films. I cannot keep track of every single thing I own. That's just an impossibility in my head. I have too much shit up here. I'm getting too old. I can't. I used to be able to. I used to be able to tell you exactly every single movie I had, and when I got it, where I got it, probably how much I paid for it, whatever. But not no more. Not no more. All right, so Sleep Tight. We start with our villainous antagonist who we follow throughout the film. So this is seen through the eyes of our villain, which is rarer. I mean, it's not completely unheard of by any means, but it's on the rarer side. Typically, we follow our protagonist, not our antagonist, but this one definitely takes that different route. And it's all the better for it because this is this character study of our main villain, Cesar. Or Cesar, however the fuck say his name in this, but we'll go with Cesar. And he starts off the film by saying, I'm never happy. I've never been happy. I pretty much feel like I'll never be happy. And that, of course, is ironic because of how the film ends, but we'll get there. And then we're introduced to our main protagonist, Clara. Clara is a very beautiful, young, independent woman who lives alone, has a boyfriend, but he doesn't seem to be around very much. We do get to see Clara's tits in the very opening of the film for about a second, but, you know, it's always a welcomed entry into any film, especially when the girl is as good looking as this girl. And Cesar is the doorman at this apartment complex. You're just a doorman. And he has access to everyone's place in the entire complex, which is just terrifying. You know. And what does Cesar like to do with his free time? He likes to sneak into Clara's apartment while she's not there, hide under her bed because he knows her schedule, wait for her to fall asleep as he just lays there like a creep under her bed, living in her life. And then while she's asleep, he gets up, he puts some chloroform or something onto her face, knocks her out while she's already asleep, but to make sure she does not wake up, and then proceeds to have a romantic relationship with her. He gets in bed with her naked. He fucks her, obviously. We know how this movie ends. We never see him fuck her. We never get to see him being, abusive to her or whatever, outside of the obvious. I mean, it's implied, and chloroforming someone and sneaking into the house is abuse. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying we don't get to see him slapping her around, fucking her, any of that kind of stuff, which the film doesn't need. It really doesn't need. It's obviously that he's fucking her. It's obvious that he's fucking her. It's obvious that he's fucking her up, that she's can't even get any real sleep because she wakes up, she has these rashes all over her face from being chloroformed. She's not feeling like she's getting any rest because she's been dosed, she's been drugged, she's feeling like shit, and he's turning her life upside down. This guy he's a total piece of shit, obviously, but he's a very interesting character. Not one that we're used to at all. This is primo stalker right here for sure, but still a very engaging, interesting character, and beautifully performed by the actors in this film for sure. Everybody's fantastic in this film. He has everyone's trust and confidence too. That's what's so scary about this kind of stuff, is he has access to your place and like everyone there loves him, you know? And it's terrifying. It really is. And I don't really understand. I mean, he sleeps a little bit, I guess, with her, but I don't understand when this guy sleeps. He seems to always be up. He seems to always be like at the front desk, or he seems to be under her bed waiting, and he seems to be in bed with her, and he can't really fall asleep very well because he can't really set an alarm, because that alarm will wake her up, because her alarm wakes herself up every morning. But he can fuck her, so I guess it starts to wear off after a while, but like I guess towards the morning it would be mostly worn off, so if her alarm went off or an alarm went off. So I just don't understand how this guy's sleeping or when he's sleeping. So I'm kind of confused about that aspect of the film, but I digress. It doesn't really matter. The guy just doesn't sleep. There you go. I guess that's the answer. And she does go away for multiple periods of time throughout this film, so he sleeps then. Although he doesn't seem to want to sleep because he's so angry about her leaving, because he seems to be crazy about her. He goes to visit his mom a bunch, and he's like telling her all of his explorations with this, and she can tell he's evil. You can tell by her reaction to him. She's terrified of him, and she thinks she's created a monster. She has no dialogue at all in the film, to my memory. I don't think she ever speaks once. But he kind of like lays it all out, and we can tell also that this is not the first time he's done this, but this is the most intense he's ever gotten about it. Whether or not he's fucking these other girls, I don't know. Probably. Because he doesn't stay at his other jobs very long. He seems to get in, get out, and be done with it and move on to the next. And he picks them pretty quickly. And you've got this little girl who's like a total hustler, blackmails him for euros and for pornography. This girl's got to be 10 fucking years old, but she's an evil little bitch, man. This is some great acting by this little actress. She really pulls off that shitty kid performance very, very well. So kudos to her and everyone in this film for, as I said, the acting is fantastic. Ladies, please check under your bed, check in your back seat. Like, this girl's never looking under her bed. I guess a lot of us don't, but I've watched enough of these damn movies that when I get in my car, I always look in my back seat. 100%. 100% of the time. I always make sure. That's just training. That's not me being paranoid. I don't like look back there like, oh my god, someone's gonna be back there. I just take a click, look like, no, I've seen enough movies. I'm looking back. Because how many movies is there a guy in the back seat? And there's like, really? You didn't look back there at all? 100% always do. 100%. Always do. Break into my car. See what happens. And he then infests her place with bugs. So gross. And I don't really understand how he didn't realize that she wasn't going to want to stay there that night. Like when she's like, no, I'm not going to stay here tonight. He's like, no, I insist. And she's like, bro, I'm not staying in that house until it's fumigated and all those bugs are dead and gone. Like, what did he think was going to happen there? She's going to come stay at Caesar's place? Like, I don't understand. He's too smart to be so stupid in that scene. I'm going to go home? She literally made you go get her dress and her shoes because she wouldn't even walk in her room. You think that night she's coming home, she's going to like sit up all night with you and have a conversation and like pick out what clothes to throw away and fumigate and what not to and what. Wait, what? That's so dumb. That's so dumb. Like, I guess you could just chalk it up to he isn't really thinking that kind of stuff through because he's just so obsessed with her. And he, like, once he makes that realization, he's like mad at himself for not coming up with that idea. But what did he think was going to happen? You put a beer on a vibrating bed. What did you think would happen? Name that movie. And then he ends up pinning it on the kid. All the messages and the texts and everything that she's getting from him. He pins it on the kid that comes in to clean the place with his mom, who has such a stupid fucking haircut. It's like this, like, I don't even know how you do it, man. It's pretty precision. So I'm not a barber, so I don't really have these tools or these skills. But it's like rounded here, and then it like V's down, and it's like this, like almost like mohawk looking thing in the back, and it V's up and circles up and around. It's interesting. It looks like shit. I hate it, but it's interesting. So if he likes it though, who cares what I think? Then then Cesar breaks in to Clara's place, of course, again, and he's under the bed. He thinks he's gonna get a night with her after she's been gone for a while. And when he gets there, the fucking dude, she brings her boyfriend home, and he has to listen to them fuck on top of him. And whilst doing that, he doses himself accidentally with his own chloroform. For some reason doesn't pass out instantaneously. This doesn't make any sense to me. You can't really fight through that stuff. That's like the point of it, is like as soon as you put it on the person, they take a breath of it and they're gone. There's nothing they can do about it. But he seems to stay conscious somehow for a very long period of time. You can't fight through it. That's the point. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyway, he is now stuck in this situation where he can't black out under the bed. Someone's going to find him. He's passing out. He can't stay conscious. He grabs the key out of the bag, tries to make his way to her door without them seeing him, and then gets there and realizes he grabbed the wrong key, freaks out, and then it cuts to him being woken up with water being doused on him as he fell asleep in the shower. And then he's like making his way around the house. And it's funny because like this guy's a piece of shit. We want him to get caught. So it's almost a reverse of typical stuff. There's a couple things going on here. Number one, it's the opposite of what we're used to, which is the person we care about is in this position where if they get caught, bad things will happen to them. Of course, this is not the same here because we want this guy to get caught, but there's also this added tension of if he gets caught, what the fuck is he going to do? Is he going to kill these people? Like, what's his reaction going to be? So there's this like weird tension about this guy getting caught when we shouldn't care about it, but we do care about it. But I think that's a testament to how good this film is and how well the characters are acted and conceived and everything. Because in that scene, I should just be sitting there staring at the screen being like, catch the motherfucker. Like, what tension is here? But it's like a reverse tension, which is, I think, really cool. And I'm not used to seeing much in film. And he ends up getting away with it. He comes up with a pretty smart story of, oh shit, I forgot my bag. It lines up with everything they know, but the boyfriend ain't convinced, and he ends up confronting him, which ends up costing the boyfriend his life, but he's on to him from moment one. Now, this is probably just purely out of jealousy, but it is what it is. He weasels his way out of there. Then he goes downstairs after getting fired, I want to say, by this point. And this old woman with these dogs, she's not that old, but she's older. She's talking to him, and she's being so sweet, so nice, and he just eliminates her existence. Just pure smackdown of her entire persona and in soul. It's a really fucking sad scene to watch because he like points out all of what she probably thinks is true. Now, whether it's true or not doesn't really matter, but he like points out that she's old, that she doesn't have a lover, that she doesn't have any kids. All she has a dog, but a dog's not a real human or a kid. She, that her existence is basically pointless, and that no one in the entire apartment complex likes her at all. They just pretend out of pity to care about what she has to say. And this is after she's been nothing but, I mean, she literally is sitting there saying, hey, I'm sorry you got fired, but it's not because I don't like you. Like, much to the contrary, I think you're wonderful. She's like so unbelievably sweet and sincere to this guy, and then he's that awful to her. It makes you hate the guy even more, and she leaves there devastated. Not even devastated is not even the right word. Wrecked, crushed. Her soul is fucking obliterated. So it's a really interesting, sad response. The way she walks away and she's just kind of baffled and also feels like, all of what he said was true, and she just doesn't want to face that, and like he like cuts at her very existence. Like it's a brutal sequence, man. And her reaction to it's pitch perfect. It's like I don't even know what to say. Like I kind of just want to kill myself. I mean, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised, if she would have, if we would have saw her like when the kid was going to hit the car, and it's actually the planter. It could have just been the grandma just chucking herself off the roof. Like, I guess he's right. I have no reason to live. Oh, it's so fucking sad. And even when Clara walks past her and tries to talk to her, and she's just gone. She's like, everything okay? And she's like, yeah, I'm okay. And she like gets in. God, that's a rough scene. This guy's awful. And you just want him to die so bad. And unfortunately, he gets away with everything. But I also like that, because I don't want every film to have some happy ending. It is what it is, but damn, he's awful. If anyone deserves to die, it's definitely this guy. And then he's fired, and he is told by Clara that she's like going on vacation with her boyfriend for a while, and she won't be back, and he freaks the fuck out. And he's about to kill himself. It's over. He's about to jump to his death. She's gone. He's getting fired. He's done with life. He goes to the roof to kill himself. And there's a sign from the heavens as Clara returns home with her boyfriend, so that they can discuss the fact that she is pregnant. And her boyfriend's like, can't be mine. Mathematically ain't mine. She's like, it's technically possible. It ain't. And of course he's like, you cheated on me. This is bullshit. This is a tough situation. I've mentioned this on the channel in a different review where I handled something like this, but that's a tough situation for both. The guy's like, okay, I don't want to be an idiot here. Like, I want to believe you, but what is like logic telling me? I don't want to have my friends and everyone find out in a year or 5 or something and be like, you knew it wasn't your kid? You knew there was a chance? Like, she told you when you weren't around, she got pregnant? What did you think happened? But then it's on her end. She's like, I know I didn't do it, and I need you to trust me. And it's like, do you not see how I wouldn't think that's happening here, and how foolish I would be to believe you? But I want to believe you, and he should believe her because she's telling the truth, but how could he possibly know that? So this is a seriously shitty situation. I don't know really what vibe I get from the boyfriend in this. I get that he's kind of just very typical blah boyfriend. I don't get anything super strong one way or the other. His confrontation with her over the pregnancy, that's pretty standard type Jerry Springer shit of like, it ain't my kid, prove it. Which a lot of people would do. I mean, even myself. I mean, if I was dating a girl and I hadn't seen her for like 2 months and she's like 4 weeks pregnant, I'd be like, sweetheart, I love you. I did. Everything was great, but you're fucking lying to me. Tell me the truth. I'm not lying to you. That would be an impossible discussion. Both of them I feel horrible for, but I don't know. Anyway. Then the boyfriend confronts Cesar, and this is where he gets his throat slit, and he leaves him in the bath running, and blood just gets absolutely everywhere. But they rule it a suicide from the cops, and then Cesar goes and threatens the little girl because she's just getting too close and she's threatening him too much. So he goes into her house, drugs all of her parents and her brother. I think it's a brother, sister, brother. I think it's a brother. And he takes her and he fucking goes to like throw her out the window and is like, you get what I'm telling you? I will kill you. You know what I did to the boyfriend? You know what I could do to you? Look at what I do to your family. Look at how you couldn't stop me at all. And I really hope that this sets this little bitch straight. And let me tell you, I don't use the word bitch lightly. I rarely use it for anybody, but this girl's a little bitch. And I really hope that this has, helped and adjusted her wicked ways, so so to speak. She's just a dreadful person at that age. So I hope this kind of knocks some sense into her, and that she won't be a conniving, blackmailing little bitch the rest of her life. So hopefully this was good for her. She needed this. And then Cesar, Clara moves away. She has the baby. Life is swell. He sends her the letter and the diary and tells her that he's happy now and that she knows, who this is. She recognizes the diary from it being in his bag. She saw that. And, he admits to everything, and she realizes the baby's his, and that she was raped. And this is like a really, really downer ending, because it starts with him saying, I can't be happy. And then Clara is happy. That's what obsesses him over her, outside of her being beautiful. But whatever, he's obsessed with her because of her energy, and he tries to live vicariously through her and whatnot. And then the film completely flips. From the beginning is he's unhappy, she's happy. Movie ends with him happy and her miserable. It's really kind of poetic in a disgusting, sick, dark way, but it works. It's great. But yeah, that's damn. She would never give up, though. She'd immediately fly back, track this guy down, get a DNA test, and press every charge that was available to her. So I don't see this ending like this for real. It ends there with he wins, she loses kind of thing. And she's now got to raise that kid. She's got to raise that kid knowing it's his. This is the big argument always everybody uses who's pro-choice is what about rape? And I know I'm not getting into some political fucking debate here, and I'm not saying which side I'm on. Actually, I'm pro-choice. I don't really give a fuck if you want to unsubscribe to me because of that opinion. It is what it is. But anyway, it's just that's one of those arguments, right? It shouldn't be the only argument, but it is a fucking very valid argument. This girl has to live with this kid the rest of her life, knowing this product of rape. This is really, really evil shit here. So, I mean, what's she going to do at this point, though? There's no abortion when the kid's born. And I'm sure as hell against anything like that, or a late fucking trimester, third trimester abortion or something insane. I'm not a fucking lunatic. But, yeah, just damn. Damn. What a gut punch of an ending. What a gut punch of an ending. This shit's dark. This is the home invasion thriller, horror. That's definitely a thriller. But at the end of the day, this is horrific. So yeah, it's a great movie. So thank you to Ricardo, and I hope you got your money's worth there. I always say that, but thank you for the patron donation. And if you want to find my Patreon, it'll be in the description below. I gotta remember to put that down there, but I will this time, because it's good for the channel, of course. If I could get everyone subscribing to my channel, just give me $1, I could quit my job and just do this full time. I say that all the time, but I know that will never happen in a million years, but wouldn't that be amazing? This would be my job. Best job ever. Anyways, thank you to Ricardo. Amazing. Adios.